Well, guys, like Drake once said, I'm upset. If you're new here, nice to meet you. I'm Raph, and this is Melon, the Panther Chameleon. Today's a little more of a somber day. All right, we're not happy, right? Right, Melon? Melon's never happy when he's out of his cage. But the reality is, I'm in a pickle. You might call it a pickle. You might call it a cucumber that went swimming in some vinegar, right? With some fixins. I don't know what you want to call it. But either way, it's a problem. It's a problem for me. It's a problem for Melon if he wants a pretty girlfriend one day. It's a problem if you're watching me. You probably watch other reptile YouTubers. It's a problem for them. And if you're sitting there watching an idiot with a lizard on a stick, it's probably a problem for you too, if I had to put money on it. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all this crazy stuff going on, just at a glance and more my opinions on it, because I'm not an attorney and I'm not going to break down an amendment with you, right? Anyway, like, subscribe, twice week video here. Intro. What the hell, Raph? You're being sad and dorky instead of just dorky. So there's an amendment to the Lacy Act, which, again, I'm not going to break down the laws or anything, right? What's happening is they're trying to amend an act that was passed a while back, and the amendments they're making to it is that they want to institute, like, a white list or animals that you're allowed to have. And this is anything. This is anything that's not a dog, cat, or traditional farm animal, right? So mice, feeder rodents, even for if you're a reptile keeper. Ferrets are adorable. My sister had ferrets growing up. They're awesome little things. And of course these guys, right? We're biased towards the scales sometimes. Anyway, this white list is going to be what is okay or legal or able to be transferred across state lines, right? So I'm not saying if you have some reptiles that the cops are about to come bust down your door and steal your reptiles. That's not the problem. But, and people like to talk about the slippery slope as a logical fallacy. But it just can't, right? It makes sense. If they do one thing, if there are people with an agenda, right? People that don't want us to keep pets at all, and they have a lot of money, which there are, right? PETA. Bro, can I fight someone from PETA? Can we get this going? But the point is, money does influence the law. I don't know if you've noticed that. So, our government, I still think this is one of the best places on earth to live. But it's not always about our best interests. It's about what's profitable. Okay? So, there's an organization that's fighting for our rights that brought kind of this amendment to our attention, and it's called USARK. That's USARK. So you can go to usark.org and find all this information in a more detailed way, and it's also a way to support the reptile hobby, because these guys get in the ring and step up to the plate for us to be able to do what we want. So if you're able to give financial support, that's one way to go about it. But even if you're not, they got this list. I'm putting the link in the description below. They have a list with all these talking points that you can send an email to your senator and just kind of tell them how you're feeling about it. Do it in a respectful, calm way to show that we're not... A lot of people think we're extra weirdos, right? We're probably weirdos, but everybody's a weirdo. But some people think that we're, like, dangerous or creepy weirdos because we like these scale boys. But we're just people, and we're having a human experience, right? And to think that if I had to move, right, if I had to move out of state, wouldn't be able to take these guys, you know what I mean? That we'd have to rehome them. Even just thinking about that breaks my heart. And a really sad thing that I've heard brought up, I know Chandler's Wildlife brought this up, and I think I heard Clint mention it as well. I'm sure other people have brought this point to attention. But, so, I'm in the National Guard. I get to pick where I want to live, right, and be in the military. Most people in the military don't get to pick where they live, right, and they get moved around a lot, which is hard enough on a family, let's say, if you have a young family, and say you have to go from North Carolina to Missouri or something like that, and you had a chameleon for however long, right? And they don't have too long to live, and you just don't get to bring him with you, and oh my god, dude, it's just isn't that stupid though? Like, the claim is that the whitelist will not include any injurious animals, and when you establish a whitelist, that means everything else is on the blacklist, banned, illegal, can't have it. So now you have to go through millions and millions and millions and millions of species to find all the safe ones, which is the vast majority. And again, a lot of it's about profit, so that's just a lot of extra time that no one really cares about. You know what I mean? They don't want to have to do that. When meanwhile, I kind of understand. I'm very, do what you want to do, just don't hurt anybody. That's very much how I feel. But I can see, putting a blacklist for deadly snakes. Even if they made a permitting system for like the larger monitor lizards, I'm not mad at that. But the thing is, when you just say, boom, no, can't have it, no matter what, and especially on silly things, like if somebody just doesn't bring up panther chameleons, what is this going to do to anybody? So these animals that are going to be banned are going to be considered injurious. Now that's to a person or the environment. Even if they can go out and live in the nature where you're at, they can be considered injurious. Now that's going to ruin, even if they break this down and the states get to make their own decisions, Florida's not going to have any reptiles because that's the one place that all these animals can live. And for me, I only have one animal. Yes, only one animal could probably successfully live here on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's about 5 degrees out right now, and the wind chill kicks us down to like -20 sometimes. And my gray tree frog, they're studs, man. They've turned themselves into icicles, and they're good. That kind of brings me to the slippery slope argument thing again, right? Because sure, maybe it is a logical fallacy, right? But if we're talking about logic, right? And I really like just thinking things out as objectively and logically as I can. So if now we start banning injurious things, right? I understand we're just talking about reptiles for now, but that can go a bunch of different places, right? Because what makes me say that is, if we're talking about, that these are going to harm populations of native wildlife or harm people, car accidents happen all the time, right? So I know that it's not like the next thing that's going to happen. Are you okay? I know it's not like the next thing that's going to happen or anything, but hear me out. If you can just start taking away things that are injurious, but it's not, nobody's maliciously, like I'm not attacking anybody with my chameleon, all right? No one that I know of that keeps venomous reptiles is letting them loose upon people. No, they're enamored with these animals and they like to care for them, so they have them in a secure manner. Of course, there are outliers. There's going to be outliers for everything. Some people still fight dogs. It's just, it is what it is. But now here's my point. Injurious can cause harm, right? So what's stopping them from eventually down the line going, oh, a lot of people die in car accidents? Let's just limit everyone's driving time. You only get to drive for 2 hours a month, and we'll call it good. It's not the same, and I know it's not the same, but it's kind of the same, okay? Because, and look, cars do hurt people. People do get hurt in cars, but that's people making a decision, right? All the animals that are out in the wild in the Everglades, let's say, it's not because a bunch of people had Burmese pythons and they were like, oh, it'd be fun if we just let it out. If we just let it take over Florida. Like, that would have had to happen so many times for a successful, established breeding population like they have to happen. That's not what happened. What happened was, I think it was a hurricane. Anyway, but a breeding operation got taken out. Here's my larger point, actually. Here's my larger point. What's the best thing about America? And again, I think it's still one of the best places you could be on the planet, right? The basic human rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it, right? So you should have the right to those things, and you will and should be swiftly punished if you're infringing on someone else's version of those things, right? For example, I want to be free, right? I want to be free, but I go around murdering people, taking their lives. Boom, done. Now I forfeited my rights by being an idiot, right? But with that, the American dream it's a real thing, right? Because we live somewhere where even very successful countries, other places on the planet, they will infringe on your rights because they have an agenda, right? Again, we're talking about agendas, and where it could happen. I'm not saying they do this everywhere. I'm not saying everywhere else sucks, right? But I'm saying that there are some places where there's even more overreach, where they can really tell you what to do. But that's what's great about America, right? This right here. So I know I'm a weirdo, like I said, I don't expect everyone to be like me. I don't expect damn near anyone to understand me, okay? But being able to spend time with these animals, that's what I'm passionate about. Since I was a little kid, I loved reptiles. I haven't been keeping at a higher level for a while. It's been a very short time, but my whole life I was obsessed with all animals, and then just always, for whatever reason, just an extra fascination with our reptiles. And it's just, like I said, the American dream, right? Because now we're breeding a little bit. We're breeding our African fat-tailed geckos. But it's not a money play. I just want to be able to do this at have as many animals as I can take care of properly, and just spend time with them, really, right? I don't want to be working 80 hours a week and then just just kind of have them and whatever. If I can turn this into what I do, that's what I want to do, right? And the pursuit of that happiness is the American dream, all right? And so they are trying to step on that. And it's a long bill. I don't know the rest about the bill. The America Competes Act of 2022. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that they're trying to slip this in there, slip it in there. And I don't want it slipped in there because maybe it's great. Maybe the bill is totally great. And I don't know if politicians do great things anymore, but maybe it is. Maybe it's a great thing. But this little piece of it is going to take away, and not to mention, this hobby is growing. This hobby is growing at an astounding rate, right? Not even a hobby, it's a life. For me, I'd consider it more of a lifestyle than a hobby. Like, it's literally what I do. I do other things, of course, but this is what I do. Again, I'm talking about breeding, and something that's going to make a lot of people angry is it's not never. So in my personal instance, this is not a get rich quick scheme, okay? Never ever should animals be strictly a money play. Look, can I give them good care, make sure they're really well fed, they make some babies, we distribute that bloodline, people purchase them, we vet buyers, make sure they're gonna have a good home, and make a little money doing it? Sure, and that money is gonna stay right in this reptile room, just contributing to better care, maybe different breeding pairs, so that we are able to do this more in the future. But so I agree they should never be a money play, but that's the thing. The more small ethical breeders that there are, the more places like Reptiles by Mac will lose all, and the more people talking about it, right? Not just me, plenty of people are talking about this. Breeding mills are bad, period. Dogs, cats, whatever, reptiles. So the more people that are doing that on an ethical level is going to lead to less need for that garbage, right? That evil. It's evil, you know what I mean? If you have a life, I'll say this till the day I die. If you choose to take on a life for whatever purpose, maybe you're disgusting Scrooge McDuck mother, you should, if you choose the life, right, you need to provide for it. You need to provide for it well. That's just a little tangent, but I feel like Randy, bruh. I feel like Randy Marsh, bruh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was once again, I thought I was in America. I'm sorry.
I thought we could just do our freaking thing.
What, is this a communist country or something? I thought this is America.
And have a good time a little bit doing it, you know? I get to sit here every day with a lizard. Or not every day, right? Twice a week. Like, subscribe. But I get to sit here like an idiot with a lizard on a stick, right? And take this video, and I'm going to go back and edit it. I'm going to think about how cringy it was. But I get to do that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not hurting anybody. And you know, I've done things to hurt people in the past, you know what I mean? We all have. Like, I'm not proud of my whole life, but this is something I can be proud of, because I try to put a lot of time into it and a lot of love, you know what I mean? And I can't emphasize enough how people are gonna like think about this and just be like, oh, well, you know, oh, whatever, I guess we'll see what happens. It's every pet that's not a dog, cat, or livestock animal, right? Talking about money plays, horses are like one of the biggest just money grabs in the world, and nobody's making us think about that. I'm not necessarily saying that you should, because there are a lot of ethical horse owners that want to be able to keep their horses, so they don't want a whole bunch of regulations on it, and I get it. So it's just like, you know, at least I don't ride him. I don't starve him for, you know, and I know horses can handle people riding them, and I'm not saying that horse racing is the worst thing or whatever, right? But I'm not optimizing his weight for an edge in competition, you know. I'm just trying to keep him healthy. Like, and that's what a lot of us do. That's what a lot of us reptile keepers do. And I talk about cats all the time. 14 billion native animals per year are killed by cats in the United States alone. But this ban is not coming for cats. You know, they don't care. You can send a bunch of murder mittens all over the place, man. Sheesh. Anyways, guys, as you can probably tell, I'm a bit bamboozled. I'm a bit flabbergasted. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple of closing thoughts. Make sure you go to USARK, and bare minimum, look, I get money is tight, especially these days. At least, right, if you keep a pet at all, and you want to fight for the rights of pet keepers, definitely send that email to your senator with some of the talking points from USARK, if you feel like that would be easier. And it's not a bad idea anyway. Even if you have your own thing you want to write, you just kind of mix that in there, because they do a good job thinking about all that stuff. But other than that, you know, I'm upset. I thought this was America.
This is America. This is the house of America.
And I love Melon, man. And one day I want Melon to have a girlfriend. And whatever people from anywhere in this beautiful country, okay, I want them to be able to have one of Melon's babies. So I mean, that's gonna do it, guys. Just make sure you like and subscribe to a bunch of reptile channels, right? We're gonna make this lifestyle even bigger, and definitely mine too, you know, because why not? And yeah, you know, we got a little reel today, but we're gonna keep it loose. We're probably gonna do African fat-tailed baby hatchling socialization video next. Kind of lighten it up, you know, see a couple little babies. And Melon, dude, I think you covered it all, man. I think that's gonna do it. What do you got? He's a man of few words. But once again, guys, I'm Raph the Human. This is Melon the Mammalian. You've been watching Red Ribbon Reptiles. And I'm gonna go try to get happy, dog. Say bye.